set. Great to be back in Fiserv. The game at the Al was a ton of fun, and so glad that we do that for our students. But there's nothing like being at Fiserv Forum, and so great to be back here tonight. I thought our guys' energy in the first half was terrific during the run we had. That was about as good of a stretch of defensive basketball as we've played since I've been here. And it was a good sign that Royce Parham was part of that, as a freshman. I thought he was terrific. He would have played significantly more minutes, but he caught a cramp in basically his whole lower body. So, we put him back in, but he couldn't stay in for very long. And that's why he didn't play as much. But I thought he played great. Stevie was terrific. He's just a warrior, and was really grateful that the basketball gods, blessed him with the 2 made threes because he's a great shooter. He works on his shooting, and so he deserves for those balls to go in. Speaking of three-point shooting, pretty much the rest of our team did not shoot it well other than Chase. Those are shots that, our guys make in practice. Our guys will make in games. I'm sure people will say, well, why do you shoot them if they're not making them? We believe in those guys. Now we do need to do a way better job offensive rebounding. When we miss those shots, we're 10 for 36 from 3. That's 26 misses. We got to get way more of those back. But a lot of things to work on. I think as a team, we have a lot of maturing to do from the standpoint of learning, having a willingness to win ugly. But then on the flip side, having an understanding of what goes into stepping on the other team's throat when you have a lead. And we're going to work on continuing to get better at that, and that's something that every year you got to build. Competition goes up in our next game, so I think our guys understand there's a lot of things that we have to take from these first 3 games and do better if we want to expect to go on the road and win.
66 deflections, the program record. What do you like most about how this team has come together on that end?
I think it was 65. We always double-check on the tape. But it definitely was a record for us. The previous high was 56. It's interesting. We were making a big deal out of, having putting up a number that's in the top 10 since we've been here. So we did that in our last game against George Mason with 44. And then, the guys were saying, well, when did we get 56? And that was a game that we had last year. And then they go and they top that today. So it's the way we play. We are very aggressive. We're willing to put 2 on the ball in certain situations, so we got to go help each other and fly around. I thought the first half was as good of a half as we've had doing that. But again, you can't get bored, with something working, and you can't. It's amazing how, letting up a little bit energy-wise then affects you on the offensive end.
The offense is sometimes bogged down when Cam goes off the court. He had to go out with foul trouble for about 5 minutes there in the second half. What kind of growth did you see from that group playing without him?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, I thought really all the adversity that we've gone through the last 2 games is good. It's good for us to deal with tough shooting nights. It's good for us to deal with an opponent or opponents that won't go away and continue to fight. We're still, in a lot of ways, a work in progress, figuring out offensively, who the playmakers are on our team beyond Cam. I thought Chase did a nice job. Again, Stevie had a really good game. This was not one of Job's best games. He's been really, really good in practice. He's been terrific. I thought he played well in our first 2 games. I thought he got frustrated today. Can't do it. Can't get frustrated. Can't get bored. Can't get distracted. Can't go inward. Can't get away from the plan. It's just too hard at this level to be good, even when you are doing things the right way. So, good lesson.
Just how much you're looking forward to seeing how this team can respond in a road situation, and just aside from the rebounding, obviously, where would you like to see them get better from now to Friday?
Well, biggest thing, to be honest, is cultural. A week ago, we were sitting here after the Stony Brook game, and what that means is over, about a week's time, our guys have played 3 games, and 2 of them being, games that, kind of took 40 minutes to win. So that's a lot. I think that early in the season, you got to get your sea legs under you in a lot of ways. And again, starting culturally, and this is every team in the country, and this is every year, you have to decide, truly decide as individuals and as a team, are we willing to stay committed to each other and what goes into winning regardless of circumstances? And I think for anyone that hasn't played or hasn't coached, you're like, well, yeah, of course you should be willing to do that. But actually, the majority of the teams are not. So the teams and the collections of players, coaches that are in the minority. And so we're right now, like a lot of people, trying to figure that out. So that over the next 3 days is a big reflection point. And then, understanding basketball-wise, what goes into rebounding better? What goes into executing better against the zone? What goes into shooting the ball better? What goes into offensive rebounding better? What goes into transition defense? All those things we'll keep working at.
You touched on just the impact of Stevie, and I feel like, almost every game we're asking you about just how much he does for you, but tonight 9 points in the second half, very, very crucial. How much of a spark is him getting the ball into the hoop?
He's special. Stevie's one of one. He's been dealing with, a really just kind of bothersome, nagging injury that he's played through. First of all, his toughness that he's demonstrated has been just phenomenal. His commitment to his team. And again, he has a will that is special. And I think it's going to serve him really well in life. That he just can will himself and will his team to good things. So that was great to see tonight, and we needed every bit of it.
You talked about Royce sparking that run. He did that in the first game, too. What is it about him that impacts the game?
Oh, he's a phenomenal offensive player. I mean, this guy's going to score a ton of points here. Just a matter of him gaining a comfort level with everything we do and then getting sturdy enough in all the other areas of the game besides putting the ball in the basket, which is what every freshman has to go through. But he's make no mistake about it, when he's one of our best offensive players already. So it's just a matter of getting him out there enough and getting him comfortable. The other night he was 0 for 5, but you know what? We were like, those are all good shots, man. Keep attacking, and I thought he did a great job of that today.
Could you give a Demarius update?
Yes. We're hoping to make some progress with him soon. As I mentioned to you guys last week, I think, there's a chance that he can come back relatively soon. There's a couple more boxes that need to be checked by him and the training staff. But, we're hopeful that can occur in the next few days. And if it does, then he'll be able to